Well, hello everybody and welcome to the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. I'm your host, Jesse Showalter. It's a Monday afternoon, my time. I don't know what time it is for you, but we got people jumping in the chat already on Behance. Ariana's in the chat, Tia's in the chat, Aaron's in the chat, and we are on the chat over at Behance. So if you're watching this on YouTube, come on over to Behance, click that little link and join us. We got Sam Peterson moderating that chat as well. Hey, if you're jumping in, if it's your first time here on the XD Daily Creative Challenge, if it's your 10th time, tell me where you're coming from. What are you doing? What do you love? All that good stuff. Tell me right there in the chat. That would be absolutely awesome. Also, is everybody hearing me? Is everybody seeing me? We just want to make sure all that stuff is working. I'm just double checking the connection and making sure that my Monday is not getting me. It seems like everything's working, so let's get cracking. Well, tell me where you're coming from, and then put your favorite little emoji in the chat, because I'm a big fan of emojis. Welcome, like I said, to the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. If you don't know what the XD Daily Creative Challenge is, it is a way for you to learn about Adobe XD and UI and UX design over a 2-week span, Monday through Friday, and you're gonna be doing 9 challenges. We're actually gonna be having a holiday next week, but you're gonna be learning a lot of cool stuff. Let's jump over to my screen while everyone's saying hello. Let me see. Laura's in the chat. Chris is jumping in. Kevin Lee from Kevin Lee, my good friend. Kevin Lee's the first person I ever came on Adobe with. We did an Adobe Live where I designed a board game app, and Kevin Lee is my spirit animal. He's the funnest. All right, that's really exciting. Rebecca's in the house. Carl coming from Seattle. We got people from Costa Rica and Kenya, everywhere around the globe. Let's jump into the screen. Like I said, go to behance.net/challenge/XD, and that's where you're gonna find all the information about the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. Build your skills in 9 challenges, hit that big blue button, sign up, take the challenge, and here's what we do. Each day, you receive your challenge, they unlock below. Today, we're gonna be talking about transitions and animations. We're gonna be designing a little product page, and all of these challenges are gonna be focused around e-commerce. So we're gonna talk about buying, we're gonna talk about selling, we're gonna talk about filtering, we're gonna do lots of cool stuff. So you can get the starting files there and watch the video. Then you wanna join the community chat, not just the chat you see that's live here, but the Adobe XD Discord server that has, I think, like something like over 38,000 creatives on there. Let's just double check. Here it is, the Adobe XD Discord server, so you can sign up for that as well. And then watch the daily show, and then finally share your work, which we're gonna be talking about at the end of this stream today. How do you share your work? How do you actually get it on Behance? Because if you put your work on Behance, it might get featured on the following day's stream. It's kind of like homework assignments, but way more fun, not as lame, way more cool. Richard Otley coming from Brooklyn, New York, and because he's in Brooklyn, he's got pizza emojis. That makes perfect sense. Cornell, I'm seeing some familiar names. Jay Swanson from Portland, Oregon. We got let me see, Aaron Hunter, Sam Peterson in the chat. Lots of people join us. Really, really cool. Rebecca and Tia, and I'm gonna murder some names right now. I'm so sorry. Cornell and Danyanye. Man, I probably said that wrong, but please give me grace. All right, so why don't we just hop to it? But before we get to our design file, which you can download, let's talk a little bit about learning some other XD skills. If you're not used to XD, if you're a newcomer to XD, it's a great platform, really easy to learn. You can head over to letsxd.com. That's the website that's maintained by our boy, Howard Pinsky. Howard Pinsky in the house. Oh, is he? He's not in the house, but we love him. Howard Pinsky, lots of great things, so you can get up to speed quickly with Adobe XD, and that's what we are doing. So let's jump over to the XD file. It's gonna look a little something like this. Every time you open one up, the number of challenge, what it is, and let's talk about it. We have design a product and category page for an e-commerce experience. We're gonna do a little website today, okay? And then prototype a transition from the category page to the product page. We're gonna try to keep it simple because I only got 20 minutes or so. So we got some resources, some icons you can grab down there, tutorials, places where you can get stock photography. And on my very first artboard, you'll have something like this in the starting file. We have a big artboard with a nice, beautiful image, and I created this little navigation. This may or may not be in your file. I don't think it is, but it's a simple little icon. Where did I get my icon? I use this little program called Icon Jar, and I maintain all my icon libraries. I almost said Lycon libraries. That's a reverse of the words. an icon libraries inside of icon jar, little deal that I use. And I'm just naming my fake website called Furnish. I have a search and navigation, and I have grouped them together in my layers panel. And I've called it nav bar, and I got my image from Adobe stock, and I also have some other images. This is actually one image. When I click on it, you can see that it is one big image that I've masked into this little square, and then I just duplicated it and then I moved the mask around like that. So I have a bunch of furniture images. We're gonna make a little furniture experience today. It's gonna be pretty fun, gonna be pretty cool. So also, as I'm going, you can ask questions. Sam Pearson, who's moderating, he might be able to answer them. I might be able to answer them. Who knows? Good things can happen. But Sam's also gonna be posting some really cool links in the chat as we go as well, okay? Yeah, Aaron Hunter says, I'm gonna start calling them Lycon libraries. Maybe I should too. Let's make that a thing. I'm bad with the words. Okay, let's get started. We have this nice big beautiful 19 by 20 by 1080 artboard, nice big widescreen. And when I turn on my layout, if you don't know how to do that, you can just select the artboard like that, and you can turn on the layout grid. Some people like the square grid, some people like a layout. We're gonna keep it simple today. We're just gonna do a layout kind of columned grid. And the hotkey for that is Command or Control, depending on Mac or PC, Shift apostrophe to turn it on really quickly. So you can see I have my navigation bar. It's kind of lined up on those columns, and we'll try to respect it as much as we can today. If I was doing real production work, I'd probably be much more nitty-gritty about it, but we'll try as hard as we can to respect it. Why don't we let's get right to transitions and animations. But before we do that, this image is cool, but it's way too big. We don't want it to be full screen. So how about let's bring a little bit of a white rectangle on our screen. And why don't we also extend the borders of our artboard down so we'll actually get some scroll in our prototype. You'll see Adobe XD has given us a little handle that kind of marks the height of our prototype. We're just going to keep it stock as is. Let's take the border off this white box and let's just stretch our white rectangle all the way down. This is kind of our content area. Now we can do a little bit of art direction. If you don't know what that means, that's basically me just selecting how things are going to be laid out. And I'm just making some decisions right now. So I like this beautiful color of this yellow and the blue. I feel like it really pops. It's really, really nice. But I think I don't want the whole thing to be white. I want to get to products straight away. That's a good user experience for you if you're ever wondering. Our friend, which I messed up your name, Danyanye, says, "Cool hairstyle." Well, thank you. Try to keep it fly. Try to keep it pretty yeet, like the kids say. All right, I can't believe I just said that word. Let's go. Let's do this. This is kind of my content holder, and I think that we're probably going to end up putting all this furniture in here, aren't we? Let's just bring them in and let's just size them down, okay? I'm going to turn my container on and off, and let's just size them down to fit right in the columns. If things work out, they would all perfectly be 3 columns. Let's see, is that what's happening? It's kind of happening. It's pretty close. Look at how the bounds of the boxes are almost 3 columns. Again, you'd want them to be really, really perfect, but you know, we're being a little loose probably today, but we want to do that. But look how nice that looks already. We got some stuff going, okay? Okay, let's put some text up here in a little call to action. I'm going to hit T for text, and I'm going to draw an area text. The difference, there's another one, not just area text, but point text, where the text just lays itself out. But I'm going to create a text container. Let's put something like modern furniture for your modern home. I don't know, that's kind of a lame sub headline, but we're using Poppins for our title up here. Or our logo. We'll probably use Poppins right in here on some of these product descriptions, but we should also have something a little bit different. Let's use something like Palatino, which is a sans serif. Has some nice little serifs, or excuse me, a serif. My gosh, I'm like having brain farts today. Poppins is a sans serif. That means it doesn't have any of those little accents, the serifs. And Palatino is a sans serif. So let's jump this up. Let's make this a little bit bigger so we can read it at a distance. Let's get our line height working there. Maybe not quite that big. Maybe a little bit less. I like that. Look at that. That's nice. It could be something as simple as that. If I was getting, again, real nitty gritty, I'd probably do a typographic scale. I'm not going to do that today. Let's do a button, because buttons are so fun. Anybody else? Howard Pinsky says boop a lot of times when he designs, and I sing little ditties. So you'll have to forgive me. I'm really digging the yellow. I think it pops. So I'm just going to steal that yellow color like that. I'm going to head over to my components, and why don't I just save that yellow color? I think that could be a thing we do. It might not want to be yellow, but let's just go with it. I'm going to take my Poppins text. I'm going to come in here, and let's make a rounded border. We could do, I'm just grabbing the constraints here, these little boxes, and I can make a complete pill. I can make it really angular, or I could do something in between, like 4 pixels border radius. Okay. Shop, what would it say? Shop the collection. Want to see something really fun in Adobe XD? We have this really long title, and we have this button. Why don't we bring our button out, shrink our text down a little bit? I want it to stand out, so let's make it medium so it kind of pops. We're going to center everything, and why don't we grab both of these, group them together, and turn on padding. Okay, do we see padding over here? Let's zoom in. So now I have padding that's 10, 10 on the top and bottom. We have 63 and 64. Let's make it 64 and 64. What did I just do when I turned on padding? Well, I should be able to start deleting things, and the button will resize. Come on. Now I can take my button, and if you're not hip to Adobe XD yet, let's name this group button, and then let's just press Command or Control K. I've just made a component out of it. You don't know what a component is? Let's talk really quickly about what a component is. A component is an actual thing that you can reuse. So if I love this button and later on I want to reuse it, I've now created a component. I can just drag it into place, and if I change the master, right? Let's say I change it to like a blue, it's gonna change it everywhere. Oh my gosh. Let's do that again. Let's change it to like maybe like a pink color. Change it one place, change it everywhere. That's how components work. You work smarter, not harder in Adobe XD. So let's go back. Everything's working pretty good. How are we on time? We're doing okay. All right, here we go. Sam Peterson says, yeet is usually to express excitement, but it's often used to mean to throw something aggressively. Hashtag word of the day. Did I use it properly, improperly? I don't know. I'm not sure. Do I care? I'm also not sure. Let's move on. Okay, so we have our little kind of button and menu lockup. Let's just close all these masks up, shall we? Like that, so it makes some sense. Let's group it together. We'll just call it lockup, like that. I like it. I like it a lot. And I'm going to grab all of these things. I'm going to group these together. I'm going to call it hero, right? Usually call like the header of your site a hero. I don't know why. It's just, that's a thing. I'm going to group the other things together and call these products. Okay, so now we can turn our products on and off, and we have our hero. So far, so good. Now we could do this really quickly. Oh, I feel like we probably should, if we're going to do this correctly. Let's get rid of these really quick, and let's use a little repeat grid action. We're going to bring our, oh my goodness, what did I just do? We're going to bring our layout back on, okay? And let's just size this up to actually fit perfectly in the 3 column. And let's drop some text in here, shall we? Let's grab a little bit of text, and we're going to zoom into our furniture, and let's make this an off black color, and let's call this one, what color is that? Pink Panther. That's a horrible name for a couch, but we're gonna do it. Let's just do that. And then underneath that, let's have some subtext. This couch is gonna be $8.99, something like that, USD. No problem. Let's shrink our text down. We're gonna create a little contrast, okay? So we're gonna take that text and chill that out, make it kind of an off gray color, like that. And why don't we just do something that could be, you know what? We don't need a lot of details here, I don't think. So why don't we just take the price and shoot it right align text over there. We have left align text right there. And why don't, yep, I feel like that could work. So we're gonna take these 3 things like this, group them together, and call it product, okay? And we could, if we wanted to, we can grab this element that we're working with. Whoa, our product. Yikes. What do I have going on here? Boom, boom. I did something wrong in my layers. Mask group that's in there. Let's bring this out. outside. Let's bring all this stuff outside again because we kind of miscategorized a few things, I believe. So let's just grab the couch itself and we'll grab the name and the price, group them together. We'll call that product. And if we wanted to now, we could press Command or Control R and do repeat grid. If you don't know what repeat grid is, it's exactly what it sounds like. It allows me to create a grid that I can repeat easily by dragging these great little handles out. And I can manipulate my spacing, right, if I want to. So let's just manipulate them like so, something like that. Pretty close, okay? And I'm just lining my gutter. If I zoom in really close, you'll see I'm aligning with the gutter as close as I can to the gutter of my layout, okay? And now I have some things, and maybe I don't like that. Maybe actually we say that's just not in the cards. It's just too close together. Let's make it like span 4 columns. We could do something like that, okay? And then we can come into this repeat grid and we should be able to manipulate all the individual ones. And if we don't want to do that, we can also ungroup things from the grid and and manipulate that mask like so, okay? So we don't want to do every single product because we don't have that much time. But if I took all of my products and just duplicated them down here, okay, I could do something similar. I could just kind of rearrange these guys in there like so, and we have a bunch of different furniture. Okay, that's looking pretty good for just our product list. And then what we want to do is we want to create a product page. Are we doing okay on time? We got a little bit of time. I think we might have time. So let's call this one home. Let's come over here really quickly and let's create a product page. And so let's talk about getting rid of this really quick, and let's get rid of all of these other pieces except for our yellow love seat. Okay, that's not how you spell yellow at all. All right, so we have our yellow love seat. What do we want to do with this product page? Probably something really simple and easy, where we take the actual couch itself and we probably don't need all of this space for our artboard. So let's take our artboard up, okay, something like that. And then let's stretch out the size of our product so we can see it really nice and clearly, okay, something like that. And let's do a rectangle over here to just do kind of like a nice big 2 column. Let's make this a really nice neutral color. See how modern and nice this is already starting to look? I'm digging it. I'm into it. Okay, boom. We're gonna take our couch and we're just setting that in place, and we're gonna take our details and let's just bump those up. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Yellow love seat. Okay, we'll put it up here at the top. And we probably didn't want to get rid of our navigation, so let's keep our nav bar in there somewhere. Okay, something like that. And we could come in here and make the change to the color. So let's just pick our off black color that we have and just change all that. And we're gonna get back into our search, grab our search and our menu, and we'd want to change the fill to those as well so that you can actually see them. So now we're starting to work on just a little bit of a style, okay? Creating a style in there. And we're going to want to bring this over a little bit more so we have some room to work with. All this is just playing and having fun and lining things up on our grid, right? Okay, let's bring our price here, something like that. And then why don't we bring that down just a little bit more? Why don't we bring a little description down here? And to do that, let's make sure we turn it into area text, nice and big. And then change this text. And I need some lorem ipsum real bad. Do I have a plugin for lorem ipsum? I probably do. I probably have. Where's my content generator? Boom. I'm gonna bring up content generator. Give me a paragraph. Drop this down to regular and change my line height. And let's change our color just so it sets in there real nice like that. Let's do something like that. And guess what? We created a component. Let's bring our button in here. Let's do add to cart, something like that. Okay, is it the best ever? No, but we have 5 minutes left so that we can do our transition. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Let's explore basic transitions, and then we'll try a little auto animate action. Okay, I'm going to go into prototype mode, and I'm going to click on the actual couch, and let's really quickly change the name to it. So we had yellow love seat, something like that. So we want to be able to click on the entire item, and we're going to drag our little handle right over here to our product page, just like that. And once we're over here, why don't we be able to click on the home page, and we'll transition back. Now, when I get that little line, all of a sudden in my interaction panel, I can see on tap, I'm going to do a transition over to the new one. We're going to do dissolve. We could do dissolve, or we could do something like push left, push right, but let's just look at dissolve right now. And let's see what it looks like. We should be able to press play on our prototype, and we should be able to scroll down to our item, okay, and click on our item like that, and it should just dissolve and kick right over, and we should be able to kick right back. Now this is nice because it's just a basic transition from one to the other, and you could totally send this off, and it's a solid prototype. If we want to try to add a little bit of auto animate, we could do that too. Now I think what we should do really quickly is let's grab our mask shape. Okay, this is our couch and our button and our price, and we have our description. Let's take all of that and just copy it. Okay, and then we see that over here we have our product, and let's open up the product. We have all similar things except we don't have that description. So let's bring that description and just make sure that it is inside of our product. We want it there, but we just want it to be hidden. Okay, so we're gonna bring the opacity of it down. Now we should see some funkiness. Let's try this. When we click on our element in prototype mode, our product, let's, instead of transition, let's do auto animate over to home one, or we should have called it product, but let's ease in and ease out. And when we click on our element here, let's try auto animating back, and let's see what we get. We're getting a little bit of movement, right? Let's look at that. Just a little bit of movement. But the reason things are clipping and jumping is because we have other elements that are not on the stage. For instance, we have this rectangle thing. So you want to have all of these elements on both of the artboards so it transitions back and forth smoothly. I almost said smoothie. I think maybe I'm in the mood for a smoothie. Okay, so let's call this thing left bar. Man, I just can't talk today. I'm having that case of the Mondays. And let's make sure that it is over here on this artboard as well. So let's put it there, and let's extend it down so it covers everything, and we'll just move it off to the side. I'll bring the opacity down. Now let's run our prototype and see what we're getting. I scroll down and touch that, and I see the things come in. Now the problem we're also getting is that we are not getting all of the other products, and we don't have this hero and everything that's here. We don't have it in the other artboard. So we want to grab all those together. We'll call this home stuff. Why don't we do this? I'll copy it and bring it over. Let's paste it in and put it down at the bottom. Home stuff is there. We're just gonna fade it out and see if we get a little bit smoother of a transition. Okay, scroll down, tap on it, and we're getting a few things that are a little funky, but for the most part, we're getting a little closer to what we want. We would just have to work on it a bit. One of the hard things we're getting is that these artboards are different sizes, and that is making it a little bit funky because it's trying to resize our artboard at the same time. Let's try that one more time and scroll down. Boom, it's going back and forth really nicely now. A little bit of auto animate action, really smooth, and that's about all the time we have for today. I wish I had more time. If I was going to put this on my Behance profile, I could literally export these images, and I could come over to Behance and hit create a new project. You want to go ahead and do that today, and maybe stack all of these up as your XD Daily Creative Challenge. That would be really fun. A good example of that is if we go to Behance. I had one right there. You can see somebody did a previous XD Daily Creative Challenge, and they just put their work right in there. And we do that when you create a new project. Post your images, put text in, a photo grid, maybe even embed your prototype from Adobe XD. You can do that. It'll be really great, and we can review your work. Let's look really quickly at the schedule, We had the Illustrator Daily Challenge before me, video editing right before me, and then coming up right after is Design in the Dark with Happy Impulse and Andrew's back for the day. So stick around, lots of great content here on Behance Live here with Adobe, and we'll see you right here, same time, same place tomorrow for the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. Can't wait to see your work. Take care, and we will see you later.